Wonderful young friends, I'm delighted to be with you and anticipate our face-to-face event coming up tomorrow. I've been reading questions that have been coming in. They're coming in, I was going to say by the hundreds. They may be coming in by the thousands, but be reassured, we're reading them and we're praying to provide answers. We look forward to having that discussion with you tomorrow. I have one question here that I want to share with you and to try to provide something of an answer in anticipation of what we'll be doing in the event. I'm not going to use the name here because it's a rather personal question, but it's a wonderful question and I'm grateful for the permission to use it. But I'll make this one anonymous. The question is, I served a mission, but it was only 4 months long. I returned from my mission early due to mental health problems. It's really difficult not to feel like a failure. I'm not even sure if it was my fault. What do I do? How can I look at my short mission the way that I should? Obviously, a wonderfully honest question, and I'm touched by the sincerity and the fact that that question would come in with a signature, and I love the young man who sent it in. Let me try to provide an answer, and you'll understand that these are spontaneous answers and they're personal, and we don't necessarily make this the law and the gospel for the church, but it's our answer in this face-to-face event coming up. No one has encouraged missionaries to go out and stay out on their mission more than I. If people to this day go through the MTC training and orientation, they may see a clip of Elder Holland talking about going on a mission and staying on a mission. So I want that to be the foundational piece, that obviously we want everyone to have a full and complete mission, and we're anxious that no one succumb to homesickness or battle fatigue and truncate their mission, come home early. That's my foundational statement on going and serving. But listen, understand, this young man and anybody else out there in the audience who is concerned, there are reasons that people can't serve a mission. There are reasons that people can't go on a mission in the first place. We know that. We understand that. And in this particular reference, the reason was a mental health issue. I love the honesty of that, the candor of that, and I certainly recognize the legitimacy of that. There would be some in that category who would not be able to serve a mission at all. So I say, commendation to you and the love of the Lord to you and the blessings of the church to you for trying to go, for wanting to go, and for the fact that you successfully served for 4 months. It obviously wasn't the full term, but it was missionary service. It was honest. You were loyally participating and testifying, and I want you to take credit for that. I want you to take the appropriate dignity that you deserve from that, and to know that the Lord loves you and the church loves you for serving. I don't know that in all eternity, every mission was outlined to be 2 years, or for the young women, 18 months. That's kind of a modern invention. I'm sure missions in the scriptures were longer. Some of them were undoubtedly shorter, and a lot of missions currently might be shorter, special missions that are arranged for individual people, including senior couples. So I want you to be proud. I want you appropriately proud. I want you to take the dignity and the strength and the faith that came from your 4 months and cherish that forever. I don't want you to apologize for coming home. When someone asks you if you've served a mission, you say yes. You do not need to follow that up with, but it was only 4 months. Just forget that part and say, yes, you served a mission, and be proud of the time that you spent. Let me just close the question with this much emphasis about the term of service being somewhat relative when issues aren't our fault. I think you could make a case that one of the most famous and surely one of the most successful missions of all time in this dispensation was the Quorum of the 12 opening of Great Britain, led by Heber C. Kimball in 1837. That mission is still quoted. I quote it. I suppose most general authorities have quoted it. Most mission presidents, maybe most missionaries have quoted it who know anything about those wonderful, wonderful days in England when legions of people joined the church through that early apostolic mission. Well, that mission only lasted 8 months. Now, apparently nobody said at that point that Brother Kimball had to go for 2 years. Also, I suppose nobody said later on that other people went for 4 or 5 years. But the point is, cherish the service you rendered. Be grateful for the opportunity to have testified, to have been out in the name of the Lord, to have worn that missionary name plaque. And because you were honorable, and because you did give your very best service to the degree that you could, please, please do not relive this, do not rehash it, do not think you're inadequate or a failure, to use your word. Please just consider yourself a returned missionary who served and was faithful and will continue to serve, and you'll continue to be a great Latter-day Saint. I want all of you, anyone out in the audience who would wrestle with this issue, to have that feeling of self-worth and of a successful mission honorably offered to the Lord, regardless of the period of time involved. I encourage that and want you to feel that way forever. Now, that's an example of some of the questions that we're going to try to wrestle with tomorrow. We look forward to being with you. We invite you to be prayerful and attentive, and we'll be doing the same. We look forward to a wonderful time with you. Keep those questions coming.